face a new challenge. As a result of the economic and housing crises, tent cities are springing up all across America. The City Fathers of Sacramento have decided to close down Tent City in the next month and relocate people into shelters.
I've been homeless for almost 20 years now. But there's so many people out there, like Mike said, that you have a janitorial job that was open, okay? Eons of applications. No matter who's qualified or not, only one can be picked. Now, I made some decisions. You know, you can say that's a choice. I really did make some decisions. This is what my decisions got me, being homeless.
Solution is to do what they're doing, trying to find a place where they can put them that won't impact the people. I don't sleep well because at it was 1:29 when they woke me up last night. I looked at my phone, back in bed at 4:07, they woke me up again. No respect.
What happens when we lose our jobs, we lose our homes, we lose a way to keep a roof over our heads? This could happen all across America. In the coming days, I will share these stories at Ground Zero in Sacramento, live from Tent City. This is Coast to Mantis. Good night. God bless. These are not pictures from a third world country. This is America. Sacramento, California. These people are looking for a safe, secure place they can call home and keep their freedom and dignity, their things and their pets. Loaves and Fishes has been serving the homeless, disenfranchised, and abused in Sacramento for over 27 years.
Whatever you want.
Yep, take much as you want.
And I do something, and you know,
they keep complaining that we're living in third world conditions here. But where they want to put us in Cal Expo, they want to put us in the second world conditions. Now, you hear a lot of talk about first world and third world, but nobody ever talks about second world. Second world is the Soviet Union. And when you take somebody and lock them up all night without a trial, without due process, and you tell them that they can't leave, does that sound KGB to you? The world is changing. We need to redefine it. So safe ground makes the most sense right now. It's the only thing we can really afford, too. Safe ground is a piece of ground where you will not be harassed by police. So, let's give people a little empowerment, because that's generally what it is. They don't feel like they have any control over their life. You let them manage their own thing and do their own thing. It gives them some control over their life. It gets them involved. No, this isn't all about this immediate economic downturn out here. This has been brewing for a while. This has been hidden. However, the factors that have led up to this economic downturn are a lot of the same factors that created the homelessness out here.
Safe Ground, a dedicated piece of land where the homeless can have toilets, running water, and governed by themselves, is the preferred choice of Loaves and Fishes and the homeless. The town council favors relocation. Stress, anxiety, and uncertainty are running rampant in Tent City. What will happen with their homes, their things, their pets? Only time will tell. This is Coast to Mantis, live from Tent City, Day 2. Good night, and God bless. The people here in Tent City come from all walks of life. They're no different than the people from the right side of the tracks. just without homes.
I think the problem is a lack of human dignity. Just dignify and respect people enough to ask them what they want and what's going to work for them.
So how is it that you find yourself here in Tent City, Sacramento, California?
I was a leadership consultant. I was working for a number of companies internationally, doing soft skill development, management training programs for people. A lot of the focus of my work was on, I mentioned dignity, that is on having dignity between people, having respect, and having people collaborate together on things. And when 9/11 happened and the war in Iraq and a subsequent fall of the economy, a lot of the soft skill people like myself in the consulting world were really cut out from the corporate opportunities and wound up fending for ourselves, and a lot of them went under, and I was one of them that went under with them.
They want to spend $1 million to put 50 beds into a small place, Cal Expo, and most of which people won't go there. And the reason being is because it's like being in prison. You know, they have to be told when to come, when to leave, when to eat, when to sleep. You can stay up till 11:30. Don't let me catch you outside, or else you'll lose your bed for the night. There's professionals out here. There's the iron worker. There's the horse trainer. There's the custom fabricator. There's the electrician. You know, there's the waitress, all the way down to the bellhop. And they're all somebody, and they used to be somebody, and they're still somebody. I'd love to work. I can build anything on this earth if you'll show me the way.
But since I lost my job, it's kind of difficult for me to go back to school, and I lost my place where I was staying has rent basis. Running into a lot of people, especially those who have been homeless for a long time, it's kind of like looking at the fact that the way they're being ignored it's the biggest pain.
We must not forget, homeless are people too. Every person deserves respect and dignity, regardless of their walk of life. If Jesus were alive today, surely he would be here in Tent City, ministering to these people. Compassion and love may be our best hope for a positive solution. This is Coast to Mantis, live from Tent City, Day 3. Good night, and God bless. These people are homeless. They're not worthless. The current estimated population of Tent City is somewhere close to 200 people. The number of beds available at the overflow is about 50. You do the math. Where do the other 150 go?
I've spent 7 months out here. That's an eternity. 7, 8 months. That is an eternity for somebody my age. You could fall. I was depressed when I came out here. Need to find us another spot to go if they're going to move us out of here. Whatever they do, they're going to do real gently because of the press. They're not going to come in here with a fireball and kick us all out. We need to have a place that we can call our own, where we can go to work, where we can have friends. It needs to be policed. It needs to have security. It needs to be run like loaves and fishes.
Hell, for $1 million, we could buy a chunk of ground like this. Set it up with all proper facilities.
These people out here, they need help. They do. But they don't need to be shoved into a jail they call overflow.
You can't put a whole bunch of people together and make them leave their life behind them because you want us off the river. Life started out in tents. We can't remain in tents. Something has to change.
We need a safe ground homeless place where people on low and fixed incomes can feel comfortable, and you can have private security in Porta Johns.
Giving things away for free does not teach us how to stand up and be responsible for our actions. Do not judge us. Help us.
A dedicated tent city with portable toilets, running water, designated spaces, security, and self-government provides a more permanent solution to housing and costs less than 1/4 of what it would cost for 50 beds at Cal Expo. Which plan makes the most sense financially and humanly?
How will all this turn out? Only time will tell.
I want people to pray for what happens in the next 30 days. I want a lot of prayer to go out for these people. You know, they need a spot. They need a home.
This is Costa Mantis, live from Tent City, day 4. Be well, and God bless. Alcoholism and drug addiction are not exclusive to the homeless. They are epidemic in our society at large. Yet it is possible to break the habit and reclaim your life.
You got all kinds of God creations out here on the river. A lot of people, you know, they've always heard, at least I've always heard, you're always one paycheck from being out on the river. You know, when I first came out here, people would look down at you because you're on the river and you're homeless. Okay? I was never homeless, I was just houseless. I just became a part of the homeless situation. You know? I had to get off my butt to do something. I had to make the first step. And once I made that first step, my life just started getting better and better. I got my own apartment. I got a nice truck that I have now. I got friends, real friends. I go to meetings every single day, and I believe in God.
If you haven't tried it, I suggest you come down and find out what it's about, because you might find some relief in what you're going through. You might find some peace in your life, you know, because you can have $1 million and be miserable, you know, but you have people down here with nothing that are happy, joyous, loving, and kind. You know, money don't make you, God makes you. Come on out, give back something, you know, you can't take it with you, you know, because it says in the Word that we're supposed to take care of our own. We can't rely on the government and everything to do stuff for us. You know, it's time for people to start helping people and to get back to the basics and the principles of life. Loving one another as you love yourself.
Loaves and Fishes provides compassion and caring without judgment through many different programs and services for the homeless, including clean and sober, at no cost to we the taxpayers. They've been doing this with love for 27 years. Remember to check back every day for the latest news from Tent City. This is Costa Mantis, live from Tent City, Sacramento, day 5. Be well, and God bless. Have you ever been depressed? Now imagine being depressed without a job, no income, and no home. How do you climb out of a hole like that? Kindness, compassion, a kind word, and a smile are the first step to rebuilding. Many come from outside to share, while inside Tent City, many share what little they have. These people don't want a handout. They want a hand up, a job, a chance to start over, a new beginning, a ray of hope.
Before I came out here, I had a big stereotype and bias about homeless people that a lot of people probably currently still have, you know, that they're all lazy or they don't want to work and they like being out here, or they're all drug users or alcoholics, you know. And indeed, there might be a lot of people out here like that, but there's still so many people out here, and only until I came out here and started working with and talking one-on-one with a lot of these people, you realize that every individual has their, you know, their own personality, their own character, their own story for why they're out here. And there's a lot of people out here that do want to work.
Wherein lies the solution to this problem? It lies, I believe, in you, in me, in all of us. Tell your friends, pass it on, check in tomorrow. Together we will find a way. This is Costa Mantis, live from Tent City, day 6. Be well, and God bless. Well, it was 7 days ago that I moved into Tent City to see what I could find out about this situation here with the homeless. Some say they've been here over 20 years, but they're about to be moved.
There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of what's going to happen to my stuff, what's going to happen to my pets, and all of these questions remain unanswered.
I think the most important thing is that we listen and hear what it is that they're saying, and maybe with that input, not some bureaucratic solution, but we can find a people solution.
The city's spending $3 million to build a dog park, and yet they don't have a way to build a people park. I don't know, but for me, there's something wrong with that picture. The noise on the street, ha ha ha, no street here, but here in Tent City, the word is that everyone's going to be moved out by the 13th. So today is the 7th, that's 6 days away.
The city plans and is budgeting $1 million to provide 50 beds, temporary beds, at Cal Expo, and yet at a quarter of the cost, they could provide a supervised safe ground situation.
The relocation doesn't allow for people to have their pets, gives them a bed only for a night. They have to be checked in again by 3:30 of the following day to get a bed. And of course, if someone was fortunate enough to get a day job, they won't get off till 5 or 6. That means they won't have a bed for the night. It seems to be a very insecure and uncertain way to approach providing some sense of security for people who are already disenfranchised. It just seems to me that a supervised tent city gives these people an opportunity at least to have some semblance of freedom and self-respect and dignity, be able to keep their things and keep their pets. A lot of these folks simply don't want to be put in a shelter because it's like a prison, because it's highly regulated, because you can't smoke, because you can't bring your pets, because you can't have your things, because you can't stay during the day if you're sick. And they feel much better actually being camped in a tent. Well, it's actually a lot less expensive to have a person camped in a tent than it is to put them up in a shelter at night. There might be someone out there watching right now who has a piece of land in Sacramento that would be perfect. So if we all pull together like we've done in the past, we'll find a solution. We'll find the right way that has dignity and honor, and we'll be able to help these people reclaim their lives. Right next to me 2 days ago, a young man, Carlos, moved in. This young man has such personal integrity and dignity, a sense of dignity. His grandfather always told him to hold himself with respect and always dress appropriately. He gets up from his tent, he goes into Loaves and Fishes, he puts on his jacket and tie, and he goes looking for work every day. What a blessing Loaves and Fishes is to this community. I hope that whoever sees this anywhere else realizes this is a great way to go about providing, and this is all done with charitable dollars. Not $1 of taxpayer money goes into Loaves and Fishes to help feed these people. What a wonderful solution. What a generous spirit the American people have to give of themselves, to give of their hearts, to take out of their wallets and share to help others. That's the kind of people that we are, and that's the kind of energy and spirit that we need to find the solutions to this challenging situation. I know we will. This is Costa Mantis, Day 7, live from Tent City. Be well, and God bless. Loaves and Fishes closed Friendship Park until further notice due to disrespect by a few and ongoing drug and alcohol abuse in the park. As they stated in their flyer to the park guests, we cannot and will not offer services under these conditions.
There was no park today. It affects everybody, not just me. I can't go get a cup of coffee in the morning. I can get a lunch ticket, go eat. I can't take a shower.
In spite of the bad news, rain and mud, one young man's perseverance landed him a job.
I used to, for example, I used to work at Circuit City, and then they shut down. I didn't have a lot of money. I was pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, and then I just pretty much lost the apartment because I couldn't keep up paying for the rent. It got hard out there. Grandpa taught me a lot about self-respect. He passed away, and he taught me a lot. He pretty much told me to never give up and just keep going at it, and that's what I do. He taught me about character and how you present yourself and how you want to show yourself. I actually had a nice little interview, and now I'm going to be working as a dishwasher, and I start Friday at pretty much from 2 to 7. Feels good. The work finally pays off. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. I always said I was gonna make it, and now, that goal's finally been met. So now it's time to set the next goal, and that's moving up. But I've been able to stay out here, and, you know, without searching. But now, you know, the city, they're gonna move us. So now it's like I just got this job, and now I have a next, you know, I have a next problem. Not a problem, but a next challenge. And I guess I'm just gonna have to find, you know, try to find housing. If I can't do that, then probably post a tent up somewhere else and stay there. So you live two different lives. You live, like during the day, I live the life as like I'm a you know, businessman. Live, you know, have a house. I say I have a house and all that, and I have my not house, my own apartment and all that, and just out there looking for a job. Then to the real world, this is where I stay. If you tell someone that you're homeless, they're gonna think you're like do drugs or steal or you're a horrible person, but no, that's not pretty much the truth of a lot of people. We're just people that used to have jobs that unfortunately had a niche in their life, and now we're just trying to move on up. Not everyone has, you know, they all, you know, have a great family. You gotta stay strong in this world. You can't be weak or bow down. You just gotta, if you have a goal, if you really have a goal, you can make it. Doesn't matter how low you go, you can make it. You know, this is America.
Even in our darkest hour, miracles can happen. Hope springs eternal. There are 5 days left until the City Fathers close Tent City. If there's any way you can help, please go online now to theartranch.net and donate what you can. Thank you for your generous support and contributions, your prayers and blessings. This is Costa Mantis, live from Tent City, Day 8. Be well, and God bless. There's a lot of upset people this morning. Union Pacific Police came out and started handing out notices saying that you're trespassing and you have to move.
It's time for the people to stand up to the political powers and say, look, we've had enough. We want to live. We just want to live our life without breaking any laws, without hurting anyone. This is a wasteland.
I'm very, very upset. I don't know what's going to happen to me. But this is all I have is hope. This is all I have. What about those of us who do not have residency? Do you know that this is eating me alive? I am worried constantly. I'm worried sick because I don't want to be out in the rain with no roof over my head. This is all I have is a roof.
They want to kick everybody out here, and if we don't get out of here, you know what? What are they going to do? They're going to arrest us?
This is a wasteland. Nobody has used this land for years. These people aren't living here. They're surviving here.
People are getting scared. Where are they going to go?
Everybody that walks by me has nowhere to go.
Come here.
Eviction is set to begin in 4 days, the day after Easter. City officials call it relocation. The homeless call it prison. I wonder what Jesus would call it. I've lived here only 9 days now. I can't imagine how some have done it for over 20 years. 200 years ago, we would have called it the pioneering spirit. Now we call it homelessness and a social disgrace. A lot of people say that many Americans are only a paycheck away from being in the same situation themselves. If you found yourself in this situation, how would you want to be treated? With dignity? Or herded around like unruly animals from place to place? Give these people a place. Give them safe ground. Give them a place where they can be secure, have their things, have their pets, and stay together as families. Let's help them work it out. Live from Tent City, Day 9. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. And please, send help. Mayor Johnson's task force on Tent City is staying the course. Eviction notices will be given on Monday the 13th, the day after Easter, and everyone will be expected to vacate by the 15th. Those who have not left by the 16th will be subject to arrest.
Not sure where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do.
Everywhere that my friends have camped. I've parked my car by all of them, and I've camped in a couple of places. And they're always getting told, you can't stay here, you can't stay there.
What about those of us that do not find residency for?
Where's the humanity, for God's sake?
John went to over 40 camps last night in the rain to invite all of them to a meeting and encourage participation and a show of unity with the homeless. Only 8 showed up.
Right. On Thursday, the 16th, the police will be on alert to arrest anyone on private property.
We need to form some kind of security cleanup crew to deal with these 2 streets right down here, because in that task force meeting yesterday, I'm trying to tell people that if we leave people alone, they'll be harmless, and the homeowners are jumping up and saying, we got people dealing dope out in front of our house.
Friendship Park is back open today. I'm sure a lot of people will be happy to get their morning coffee, rolls, and talk in peace.
The city wants to proceed with the eviction notices to go out Monday, the day after Easter, and the intention is for all peoples to be off of this property by the 16th.
We'll see what happens.
Live from Tent City, day 10. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless.
It's moving day at Tent City here in Sacramento, California. In anticipation of the impending eviction, the residents decided they might stand a better chance further away from the Union Pacific and SMUD, the railroad tracks and power lines. This is kind of normal for the homeless. Move, set up, move again, set up again. If you've ever had to move everything you own, then you know how challenging and upsetting it can be. For the homeless, it just deepens their sense of anger and resentment for authority and society. Here we go again. We're being pushed around by the powers that be.
And some of us are hardworking or just trying to climb out, but every time we try to set a spot, they kick us. If I go to overflow, I lose my job because I won't be able to get to work. So I'm going to try once again to find a spot that is safe for Christina and I, so that I can go to work every morning and make money to get us off the streets. Yeah, I don't want to live on welfare. I've never even had unemployment. I've worked my whole life.
Will they be safe in this new place? Only time will tell. In the meantime, happy Easter and happy Passover to all our friends and family.
I think that society does not care whether we have a place to stay or not.
And a special happy Easter to my 2 precious guardian angels, Katie and Emily. Remember, Pop Holy loves you, and you better save me an Easter egg. Live from Tent City, day 11. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. It's Easter morning all around the world, even here in Tent City.
And just blocks away, we have people in the wilderness. But you know what? Great victory can come out of that wilderness. We need to take charge, amen? Put your faith in God. Walk in faith, not unbelief. Amen? That's why you need to share your testimony. Share the goodness of Christ, amen? It will encourage you. It will encourage your faith.
First, after coming out of prison, I got onto drugs. I was doing crack cocaine. And it was interfering with my family life. I'm surprised that Sandra stuck with me through it, but she did. And I knew I had to get off it. Through the grace of God, I worked out, beat the drug addiction. It was a struggle to get off it, but it's something I knew I had to do. We now have an apartment over in West Sac, 2 bedrooms, $700 a month. And with my income tax check, I was able to buy a Jeep Cherokee. They need to set up all these buildings they got here. They need to set them up for shelters, for training programs. That's all they need. Then they don't have the problem. These homeless people are not as bad as everybody would like to think they are. A lot of them just had bad problems. Could happen to anybody. You lose a job, you're homeless.
These people here in Tent City are God's children too. Perhaps if we can listen and learn and reserve our judgment, we can find a human solution filled with dignity and compassion. Eviction from Tent City is set to begin tomorrow. I will be here to bring you that story. Live from Tent City, day 12, Easter morning. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless.
Everyone's on the move again. Today they're headed east to the radio tower, hopefully to avoid eviction or arrest. No trespassing signs have been posted. The fence people were here early this morning, getting ready to put up fences around the power line so no one can camp there ever again. Ernest Thomas, an out-of-work carpenter, is moving again, one more time. Robert Booker, homeless himself only 1 week ago, just got housing and has come back to help others less fortunate than himself move their homes and belongings.
These people aren't losers. Probably 40% of people I've met are out here because they're unemployed and have nowhere to go. Well, it's an us and them city. It's an us and them society. You know, the haves and the have-nots. I hate to put it that way, but luckily I found a balance. I gave up on getting housing, and a social worker called Misty there's a lot of emotion here. She encouraged me and helped me get services out here in the program that I was in, and that helped me a lot because I had basically given up when I lost my son. It did something to me, you know. It broke my spirit, and she encouraged me and helped me, and kept going forward. And she didn't put pressure on me and threaten me and stuff like that. And because I didn't have pressure on me, I was able to use my head and get housing, I used to work for the railroad and come in on Bannon Street and shake my head at the homeless people and say, what a bunch of losers. And that was like 20 years ago. And I never would have thought I'd ever been out here. I would have never thought I would be homeless because I had a job. I worked for the railroad. I'm not that kind of a person. But God has a way of turning things around and humbling a person down. And this has been a real humbling experience. And that's why I'm out here, is to help people, help them get what they have left and, encourage them. Well, I'm kind of full of emotion right now, all this stuff going on. I can say this, I want to thank Loaves and Fishes and Volunteers of America. And, even the two cops that were here, I don't like cops because of what they've done in the past, the guilty till proven innocent thing. These two guys, I don't even know their name. They're Batman and Robin. That's all I know. They've helped a lot of people out, and they don't look at us indifferently or as a bunch of losers and stuff. So there is some good people out here.
There's a lot of anger and uncertainty here in Tent City today. What's going to happen? Nobody really knows. This is Costa Mantis, live from Tent City, day 13, here at Loaves and Fishes to get lunch. Be well, and God bless. Eviction begins today. I came here 15 days ago to shed light on the homeless situation here in Sacramento. The people want safe ground, but the city wants to spend $1 million for 50 beds for 3 months at Cal Expo until the state fair begins. What will they do with the homeless then? Monday night, Pastor Darrell came to Tent City with help and a plan, enough land and running water to house up to 350 people, tents, and animals at no cost to the taxpayer.
He proposed it to City Council weeks ago. It has languished. Nothing has happened. All he needs is a variance from the city and county. But the city and county managers, in their infinite wisdom, are intent on spending $1 million taxpayer dollars instead of granting people safe ground. I've heard other stories from other reliable sources. There have been similar situations, similar offers from local business people that the city has also turned down in the past. I put a call into the mayor's office to ask for an interview, but my call was not returned. The Cal Expo solution goes something like this. There are 50 new beds and 5 kennels for 225 homeless and their animals, plus 1,200 more on the street. The way it works is you must sign up for a bed by 3:30 or at 3:30. You can only take your toiletry bag, and all your other belongings and animals must be stored. If you were lucky enough to get day labor, you'll not be able to get a bed because you missed the 3:30 sign-up. Then you must go back to the street for the night, but you cannot stay in the street, so you have to pitch a tent. But you cannot pitch a tent because it's illegal to camp anywhere in Sacramento, even in your own backyard. The media reported yesterday that the rebellious homeless don't want to go along with the city proposed solution. If you had a choice between freedom in your tent with your dog or being herded into a room with 50 others with no privacy and without your personal belongings, which one would you choose? These people solved their own problem at no cost to the taxpayer until the media showed up and it became a public embarrassment to the city and state. Mayor Johnson and Governor Schwarzenegger came to Tent City and promised to help. Where are the mayor and governor now? Sister Libby, Loaves and Fishes, and other homeless advocates are planning to support the homeless and speak their voice with a non-violent civil disobedience sit-in here on the levee to attempt to postpone today's eviction until safe ground can be established for these people. This great country was founded by our forefathers on the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Are the homeless less than citizens? Are they less than people? Please, speak up, Americans. Let your voice be heard. Come to Tent City and take a stand with us. This is an urgent situation. We need your help today. We can't wait till tomorrow. The police are coming. The eviction notices are out. The safe ground solution is at hand and ready to be enacted, but the city won't allow it. Let's demand a solution based on dignity and respect and humanity for all. Let freedom ring. Please, send help. Call the mayor, call the governor, call the president. Let your voice be heard. Homeless are people too. They need your help. Live from Tent City, day 15. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. Homelessness did not end last night. It simply got moved out of the public eye and into the bushes so that it's no longer an eyesore for the mayor or the governor. But homelessness will continue as a problem until we take a stand and provide safe ground and a human solution. Safe ground is that solution, based on respect and human dignity.
There's no work for me. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, and there are a lot of people like me out here. The police department isn't at fault, they're just doing their job. Alright, it's the city government and the state government that is doing this, and the federal. They need to stop and look at what's happening. Would you rather have them out here, or would you have them in your neighborhood? Where they can't be. They can't be inside. Do you know before the 1900s, people lived outside. Christ lived outside. There are people that are not meant to be inside. Aren't we Christians? Aren't we God-fearing people? Isn't this country God-fearing, whether you believe in Allah or Christ or Buddhism? But this is a free country. We're supposed to be able to live the way we want to live.
We will stand our ground here. We've made our statement, and we will set up camp here until we are arrested on behalf of the homeless guests.
We stand in solidarity. I stand in solidarity. You stand in solidarity. We all stand in solidarity. We need to change our system. we need is safe ground.
Yes,
God
safe
bless you
ground.
all, and let us pray together.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
We won't leave until we are arrested.
The city's eviction plan worked. Tent City is nearly deserted. Some have gone to overflow, others scattered into the bush to places unknown, taking their fear and anger with them, leaving behind what they couldn't carry. Advocates promise to continue the battle for safe ground while the homeless continue to move when the authorities say move. The city didn't solve homelessness last night. They simply moved them on. So the media can't come and say, look at the third world conditions in Sacramento. The homeless are still on the move, just trying to make a way. Fear is not the answer. Love and compassion are the answer. Live from Tent City, or what's left of it, day 16. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless.
The police said today's paper was really good. We're not going to arrest our way out of this. So we're asking people to move on as best they can, wherever they can go. Scatter a little bit, don't make a big scene, and then we'll have a safe ground rally on Tuesday. And we will be doing what they call a symbolic justice civil disobedience. So we're going to set up tents after the rally at Capitol Mall and we'll let the police know that we want to be arrested. And they will be aware of that. So they will be taken off guard, okay? And symbolically, by the public, they'll see that we are being arrested symbolically to represent that we want safe ground, okay? All right, we're not gonna give up on safe ground, and we want a legalized campground, okay?
Right on. We're not gonna stop till we got it.
All right, guys, God bless you.
God
See you
bless
on
you
the-
guys. We're not giving up the fight, man.
When the police said there would be no arrests, Sister Libby called off the vigil.
America, America, to me it makes no sense. Your houses are empty and the people live in tents. America, America, when did it become bad to give a person food, clothes, and shelter with them over there? When did it become wrong to give up Jesus?
Celebrities endorse causes in Africa, India, and Asia. If only we could get Oprah or Mel Gibson to adopt the homeless here in America. Safe ground would be a reality in a matter of days. Even in our darkest hour, it's good to keep hope alive. Live from the remnants of Tent City, day 17. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. An early quiet dawn in Tent City. No people anywhere. Not a tent in sight. The homeless have simply moved one more time away from the cameras for now. No more image problem for the mayor and the governor. Even the homeless like to have fun. Breakfast at the Dream Center.
God is so cool that He would give these people, give us food, shelter, and things we need, and that's awesome, you know?
A street fair with live music giveaways and a free lunch at the Mission lifted spirits among my friends and familiar faces.
About 9 years ago, I was homeless, and I was down in the St. John shelter, and they helped me re-enter and get into housing, and so
biggest thing I've learned is that people want someone to listen to them. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And boy, does it speak out here.
It says in the Bible that with God, all things are possible. Being here with these people, I truly believe that. Live from Tent City, day 18, here at Friendship Park. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. I don't know how these people do it. Packing up every day, moving every day, wondering every day where they will sleep tonight. Is a bed for a night the only solution? No, but it's the only one the city seems to know of.
It's chaos. It's crazy. I'm not doing it well at all. It's a luck of the draw at this point, if you get a room or not.
People over here were just fine in Tent City until they ran us out of Tent City because of our animals.
They're giving the ones who ain't had a chance to get one first.
It just doesn't seem like a solution that I think is viable for everybody out here. They leave this to go be locked up in prison. It just doesn't sit well. It doesn't seem like that's any part of solving a problem. It seems like they're creating a problem. This is home. This is safe ground. What the city's doing is they're taking away something from people that have nothing and giving them a worse situation to go into, and it just doesn't. It's not acceptable. It's just the options, you know? I mean, it's the options. I mean, here's a sandwich, but it's rancid, you know? Eat it, it's food. It's not an option that they deserve or that they should take.
Every man, woman, and child should have a place to call home. Sister Libby is taking the fight to the Capitol on Tuesday at 2 p.m. to demand safe ground for these people. Please come and join us. Tell your friends to come and join us. You can make a difference. Thank you. Live from Tent City, day 19. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. What crime have these people committed? Because they put up tents, they are herded like animals, corralled into buses, and locked up in shelter until morning. It doesn't make sense. They lost their homes, they lost their jobs, they lost their will to live in society, so they put up tents, and now they are punished. Yes, the shelter is clean and nice, and they serve dinner and breakfast, but you can't leave and go to the mall or visit with your friends. What crime did they commit? Why are they being treated like criminals and having their freedoms taken away? Don't say it couldn't happen to me. It could happen to you. If we don't stop this madness now, what will be the next crime against society that the government will fabricate? These people were living in tents. I believe our forefathers lived in tents. This country was founded on freedom and inalienable rights. When did the homeless become aliens? Wake up, America. This could happen in your community. There's a wealth of human potential in these people just going to waste. We need to stop this madness now. We need to take action now. We need to speak up for freedom now, before we don't have the freedom to speak anymore. Let your voice be heard. Speak up for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the inalienable rights given to us by the Creator Himself. Stand up, America. Live from what used to be Tent City, day 20. This is Costa Mantis. Be well, and God bless. Please, let your voice be heard. Take a stand. Call the governor, call the mayor, call the president. Call your friends. Speak up for freedom. Frustration, alienation, anger, depression, shock, acceptance. What did one old timer say to me this morning? It ain't the first time I've been on this merry-go-round. I guess not. Life goes on. Maybe they are right. Maybe these people really are worthless. But I was taught otherwise. To believe that God made each and every one of us worthy, unique, special, a miracle. Which message shall we teach our children? How shall we set the example? You are worthy, or you are unworthy.
May the cry of those who are homeless continue to haunt us, and may we not be deaf to their voice.
Did you know that many of the earliest settlers of the state of California were homeless people? They were called pioneers and lived in covered wagons rather than tents, but they were homeless. So if there's plenty of land, and God knows there's plenty of homeless people, what is lacking? Political will. Our Sacramento County supervisors, our city council, our mayor, and our governor, our elected leaders, are afraid to lead. By our mighty combined voice, we are telling them, you must provide safe ground. It's a simple, reasonable request.
All of us out here are so dedicated that we will not leave Sacramento until there's safe ground. We are visible, not invisible anymore.
What do we want? Safe ground! When do we want it? Now! Safe ground! Safe ground! Safe ground! Safe ground!
While the chants of safe ground rang out on the Capitol steps, the remnants of Tent City were moved or destroyed. Only an outhouse remains. Worthful, worthless. You decide. Tent City is gone now. They never liked that name anyway. It was just a name the media made up. But life on the river goes on. Their homes were destroyed, but their spirit lives on. Live from the river in Sacramento, California, day 21. This is Coast to Mantis. The battle for safe ground has just begun. Let freedom ring. Be well, and God bless.